Alright, so we swapped servers back at this point. We're currently on the North American server now, because Select is playing from Korea. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Select's situation at the moment, but we'll do that in a moment. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, currently the man of the hour, 2-1 for Team Liquid over Complexity-Dignitas. Thanks to him so far. Top right, blue, Terran player, Liquid Bunny. And his opponent in the bottom left, the newcomer and the last member of Dignitas. It is the red Terran Select. Now, we'll talk about the whole last player comment in a moment. It's worth noting, guys, Select went back to Korea. He's currently in Korea right now. And the house he lives in, I know this has been a problem in the past, because we've had him involved with tournaments and show matches, and he lives in a house that normally has about like 12 other people constantly downloading / sharing / using a connection with him. So he's had a lot of lag issues, thus affecting his playstyle pretty heavily. That being said, he, as of I think 3 weeks ago, I talked to him and he said, yeah, I've just made it very important to myself, like I gotta keep my tournaments better than they have been, blah blah blah. So he's actually actively going out to like those gaming cafes to like, you know, basically rent out a computer / connection to play the Acer Team Strike Cups in, which is pretty cool. I mean, it makes sense too, because it's not like he needs to stream this, and it's not like he needs a webcam or a microphone to do interviews. But yeah, so Select really taking that extra step to make sure he can try to represent his team well here. It is a bit unfortunate, again, that their team's been handling so poorly, because they do have some really talented players on it. And I would have liked to have seen Select and Tefl go very far, of course. But in the Team Story Cup, it's not about the strength of an individual player so much as it is about a team, although there are some people who argue that point. I think one of the things as well, though, for Dignitas is they always, again, I mentioned it before, they've kind of got this roster. Like, the alliance between Complexity and Dignitas is because neither team can fully field an Acer Team Strike Cup series, but the... Ew, one of the options looking out. The one thing I do find a little bit strange is they've always seemed to play them in the order of like, let's get all of Dignitas out first, right? So like they'll send out Tefl, they'll send out Hengelusk, they'll send out Bling before playing a player like Hengelusk, before playing somebody else. And quite frankly, to me, it's kind of like, dude, I know Select's TVT is not bad, but I think Hengelusk would even have a better chance of taking down Bunny, just strictly because Hengelusk's ZVT is so good. So I don't know if there's like a priority system, if it's a pride thing, or maybe none of the Complexity guys are awake. Because in North America, this did start at about 6 a.m. Not fun times to wake up for, believe you me. But apparently my overlay, for the out-of-game overlay, says next give giveaway. Hang on. Well, we're waiting for it to like it anyways. What does this say? Oh, it does say next giveaway. Is that supposed to say next game giveaway? Yeah, we'll just say a big giveaway to fix it. Alright. There we go, that's fixed up. Anyways, we have the observer out of the game now that was lagging, so back in action right away. Now, getting objectively on point for this, TVT's in a bit of a weird spot right now. There's a lot more all-ins happening than we used to see. And by all-ins, I don't mean like a player forces themselves to go like 4 racks proxy, 1 factory all-in, or something so strange and stupid as that. That's not a real build, guys. Don't ever do that. But it's more like, oh, I saw an opening. This attack worked way better than expected. Forget a third base. Let's just go for more units. You know, even something as small as the 2 Marine 1 SCV push in the early game is really becoming problematic for a lot of players. But it is worth noting, both Select and Bunny are making sure one big issue doesn't come underway. That's the fact that any sort of early push with Hellions has been hurting a lot for any player that doesn't wall off the top of their ramp. Now, I think for a long time, Terran players weren't walling off the top of the ramps in the first place because they're like, guess what? Siege tanks. Ooh, this Reaper is in a very bad spot. That was awkward out of Select.
First blood.
I think if he had just committed and kept running in, he might have had actually a better chance of not losing the Reaper, but obviously not happy with the way that went. But anyways, getting back on point of what I was saying, one of the things is, like, you know, one person will open Banshee. You know, that used to be Banshee versus Banshee for a long time, and we saw Banshee versus Raven. The matchup changed quite a bit, but rather than shifting forwardly and more dynamic around higher tech, we're starting to see more pushes that actually go back to, like, Marines and a medevac. Just tank Marine purely and entirely. No Marauders whatsoever. No Doom drops or anything of the sort. And, I don't know. I think TVT in its ultimate composition right now is still Marine tank, bottom line. But look at this. Again, for Bunny, it's 3-2. And the reason he can do this is because he picked off the Reaper. He knows his opponent has 1 less Marine because he made the Reaper in the first place. The Hellion comes across with this too, and Select is caught 100% off guard. Now, will this end his life? Probably not. But this is a huge nuisance because he can't deal with this right now. He can bring the 4 Marines to beat up the 3 Marines, but all that Hellion has to do is get like 1 or 2 good hits off, and all of a sudden his Marines are going to die. Select is going to be forced to fight soon though, because no way you want to cancel this. But looking to try and take a good engagement. Hellion will wrap around from the side as predicted. Get a couple good blasts off. This gives Bunny just that little bit of extra DPS he really needs to fry these Marines up. And looks like Select, well, he'll try and finish the command center, but I don't think he'll be able to. This is, again, it's not like Bunny goes for an all-in build behind this, but he's got a Banshee follow-up. And because all the Marines have already died, this Banshee's actually going to deal a ton of damage. There's no Engineering Bay down. He has to mule to make up for the lack of economy going on right now. The Widowmine here, I think Bunny scouted that. But Select, for the first time, gets something going right for him. He's got a Viking on the way. He should be able to deal with the Banshee without having it end his life. But boy, did Bunny get his money's worth out of this attack. 3 Marines for 6. 1 Hellion. I mean, it's about as good as it gets for the start. Back on the other side of the field, though, Bunny... You know what? I kind of forget what does that. For some reason, on North America, I can't hear scans when I'm observing. I don't know why that's the case. But because Selected looked across the map, he actually doesn't have anything at home. No way to see this Banshee. Engineering Bay will not complete, which means no turrets, which means more SCVs are going to die. And Bunny knows there's no scan energy available. He sees there's no tech lab on the starports. There's not going to be a Raven. For Select, this doesn't get worse than this. Now, granted, the command center does just finish up over here, and he scans the main final. He kills the Banshee, but even so, 9 workers die. Every step of the way, Bunny is a little bit further ahead because now he's got a tank push coming. He's got another Banshee out and available. And for poor Select, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking real hard. This Banshee, get a cloak, yeah, juke out that damage. Marines will cover it from the bottom side as well. Continue to push forward. Here's Bunny. And Select has no siege tanks. He's got no Banshees of his own. Quite frankly, he's got no way to hold this natural base. Now Bunny might have to end up burning a scan on top of this bunker just to kill that Widowmine. But, I mean, no salvage on this. This is so rough for Select. A lot of this stems to that Reaper going down early, guys. Like, it sounds so silly to say, but Bunny capitalized on the knowledge that his opponent would not have a lot of Marines at home. GG is called, and this is what I'm talking about. Terran versus Terran spirals out of control right now, and I have no idea why it's like this right now, like why the metagame has shifted this way, but it's just the case. Anyways, Bunny takes another win, another victory under his belt here for Team Liquid, and that puts the score now 3-1. All the members of Dignitas have been completely exhausted at this point, and they cannot replay any of them until they come down to their last life. So they have to pull out one member of Complexity. One member of Complexity to go up against Bunny.